السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah, today we are starting lesson number 2, and today's lesson is mainly going to be focused on Wawul Hal, and Wawul Hal. We have came across it, but we haven't, actually spent much time learning it. And so this topic or this particular lesson number 2, is mainly focused on Wawul Hal. I hope that is clear. So much of what we are going to be learning in this lesson is going to be on Wawul Hal. Wawul Hal is basically what in English we term as wal. I don't know whether you get me, wal. Okay, so if you are seeing, if you are given two sentences and then you are trying to, let's say you say, I saw him while he was entering the classroom. So you mention the state in which you saw him. I don't know whether you get me. Sometimes you say something, you give a sentence, and you mention a condition in which you saw that person, or in which that thing happened. And so most of those cases you use while. In English we use while. So let's say you say his father died while he was young. So you are given the condition in which he was when his father died. So hal actually means condition. Like every day we say, kayfa haluk, how is your condition? Meaning, how is your state? How is your condition? So how wawul hal is simply wa is a letter. We just use the letter wa to give the condition in which something happened. I hope that is clear. In simplicity, in English, that's what we term as wal. Okay. So let's start the lesson. Inshallah, Sheikh will explain further. So he says that here there's a dialogue for us to read. And so it's between Al-Mudarris and then Faisal, the teacher and then some of his students. So the teacher says that Aina Hamid. He's asking about his student called Hamid. And so let's see, Faisal is the one replying. He replied the teacher by saying that Sayati Ba'da Qalil. He will return after a little, in no time. Inshallah. Ra'aytuhu wa huwa yadkhulu al-hammam. I saw him while he was entering the washroom. So this type of wa, we don't say it is end. It's not for conjunction. I don't know whether you get me. It's not for conjunction. Okay, this wa, it comes for haliya, to give the state in which he saw him. So ra'aytuhu wa huwa yadkhulu al-hammam. I saw him while he was entering the washroom. That's how we read it here. We don't read it, I saw him and he was entering the washroom. No, it comes for condition, to give the condition in which the verb happened. I don't know whether you get me. So if you want to, someone will say, okay, so how do we know that this is not wal atf? It's not for, it doesn't mean end, but it means wal. How do we know? There's actually no single pattern. I don't know whether you get me. Single pattern that you can use to identify it or to depict it. But you have to figure out from the way the sentence is constructed. Mainly, you will almost all the time, you will see after wawul hal, you will see either a noun or a domir followed by a fi'l mudari. So after the wawul hal, as you see the wawul hal like this, you will have either a noun, okay, or a pronoun. I don't know whether you get me. Then followed by a fi'l mudari, okay, fi'l mudari. And mainly the pronoun is being repeated, because see here, ra'aytuhu. You see the who is referring to Hamid. Wa huwa. This huwa is also referring to Hamid. So there is a repetition. So mainly when wawul hal comes, you repeat the person. It's either his name or a pronoun of his is being used. So that's how most of the time we identify that it is wawul hal. There is either a noun which has previously been mentioned or a pronoun referring to the thing being mentioned, and then there is a fi'l mudari. After wawul hal, you always all the time if there's going to be a verb, it's going to be fi'l mudari'. I don't know whether you get me. Present tense verb. It will never be a past tense verb. Past tense verb can come before the wawul hal, but after the wawul hal, it's going to be a fi'l mudari'. So most of the time see a noun or a pronoun followed by a fi'l mudari'. Okay. So as I said, there is a repetition. The pronoun or the name of the person which has already been mentioned, you see it in the verb or the previously there. Then the mudarris, the teacher says as wa aina Hamza, and where is Hamza? Faisal answered by saying that kharaja min al-fasl wa huwa yahmilu kutubahu. Kharaja min al-fasl, he left the classroom wa huwa yahmilu kutubahu, while he was carrying his books. So here you don't see and he was carrying his books. It means while he was carrying his books. How do we know it's a wawul hal? So see something. As I told you, you see there's a wawul hal. This is a wawul hal. See, Faisal has been mentioned. Now there's a repetition of his pronoun. This who or huwa. The huwa refers to who? Faisal. Kharaja min al-fasl. He left the class. Wa huwa. I don't know whether you get me. So it will mean it's a wawul hal. His pronoun has been repeated, followed by a fi'l mudari'. That's the most common pattern, but it's not all the case. It doesn't mean every time that's how it will be, but that's the most common form in which wawul hal comes. But it's not all the time. Sometimes it may come in a different construction, but it's still wawul hal. But this is the most common one. I don't know whether you get me. Okay. So وَهُوَ يَحْمِلُ كُتُبَهُ, while he was carrying his books. أَظُنُّ أَنَّهُ رَجَعَ إِلَى الْمَهْجَةِ, I think he has returned to the mahja, the hostel. Muawiyah. So Muawiyah is speaking here. رَأَيْتُهُ وَهُوَ يَدْخُلُ الْمُسْتَوْصَفِ, I saw him while he was entering the mustawsaf, the clinic. لَعَلَّهُ مَرِيض, perhaps he is sick. So you see here, رَأَيْتُهُ, I saw him. وَهُوَ, while he يَدْخُلُ الْمُسْتَوْصَفِ, he was entering the clinic. So وَهُوَ, this huwa is a pronoun, but it's repeated because there's already pronoun here. رَأَيْتُهُ, this who is still referring to Hamza that the teacher is asking about. Then he repeats his pronoun after the wawul hal. So it's not wawul atf, it's a wawul hal. Or that is clear. Looking at the sentence alone, it's enough to depict that it means while. Okay. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says, Shafahullah, may Allah cure him. Mata raja'tum min Makkah ya ikhwan. When did you return from Makkah, O ikhwan, O brothers? Faisal replied by saying that Raja'na masah ams, we returned yesterday's evening. Kharajna min Makkah wa shamsu tatlu, we left or we went out of Makkah while the sun was setting. Tatlu, it means for something to appear. Tola'a, the verb is tola'a, for something to appear or to rise. Okay, while the sun was rising. So tulu shams is the rising of the sun. I hope that is clear. Then he says that, so this is a wawul hal. As I told you, after the wawul hal, you see it now, a pronoun followed by a harful, followed by fi'l mudari'. Most of the time, not always, as I'm just repeating, it's not all the time that you see it like that, but in most cases, that's how it comes. So, kharajna min Makkah, we left Makkah, wa shamsu tatlu, while the sun was setting. And you won't say, and the sun was setting. No. I don't know whether you get me. So, in Arabic language, wa comes for several meanings. You still read it. Okay, wa can come for conjunction, and, but sometimes it also comes to mean while. I don't know whether I get it. So that wa is called wawul hal. So that's just what this lesson is about. وَوَصَلْنَا طَيِّبَةً طَيِّبَةً, and we returned or we arrived. وَصَلَ to arrived. And وَوَصَلْنَا طَيِّبَةً طَيِّبَةً, and we arrived at طَيِّبَةً طَيِّبَةً. This is another name for Madinah to Munawwara, the prophet city. Okay, so we arrived at Medina. وَالنَّاسُ يَخْرُجُونَ مِنْ مَسْجِدِ النَّبَوِيِّ, and people were coming, while people, you see, while people, this is while, now followed by a harf fi'l mudari'. So while the people were يَخْرُجُونَ مِنَ الْمَسْجِدِ النَّبَوِيِّ, while the people were coming out from the Masjid al-Nabawi. So they just arrived while the people were coming out. So it gives the state in which they arrive. They arrive And then in the vicinity, people were coming out. That was the condition that they met. In that condition that they arrived. بعد صلاة الظهر, after صلاة الظهر. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says that تقبل الله umratakum, may Allah accept your umrah, meaning they went for umrah. At-Tullab, the student says that Ameen, Ameen. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says that اقرأ الحديث المكتوب على السبورة يا معاوية. So he's speaking to Muawiyah and he says اقرأ الحديث المكتوب, read the hadith. You can see him here is asking Muawiyah, read the hadith al-maktuba, that has been written. Okay, this is ism maf'ul. Okay, I don't know whether we have studied ism maf'ul or not, but we'll still study it as we go further. The lesson will come for ism maf'ul, but I don't know, I think in the book 2 we came across ism maf'ul. Okay, whatsoever be the case, as I said, we'll still study it into details as we are going further. So if you don't know what ism maf'ul means, don't bother. A lesson will come for that. So اقرأ الحديث المكتوب على السبورة, read the written hadith on the board يا معاوية, O Muawiyah. So Muawiyah is reading. So يقف ويقرأ, so in the bracket, meaning he's telling us that Muawiyah is يقف, he's standing, ويقرأ, and he's reading. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So Muawiyah stood up to recite, to read the hadith. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says that اقرأ وأنت جالس, read while you are sitting. So wawul hal, this is what? Wawul hal. Okay, while you are sitting. You can see it's followed by domir, and then here it's not a harmful, it's not a fi'l mudari'. I don't know what I get me. It's not a fi'l mudari'. Wa anta jalisun. It is ism fa'il. So that's what I was telling you. It's not all the time, but it still follow the same pattern. The pronoun followed by, even though it's not fi'l mudari', but it's ism fa'il. It will give you a clue that how do I say it? It's a wawul hal, because wawul hal, the pronoun is always repeated. It's either that his name or his pronoun is being used after the wa comes. So ikra wa anta, or while you are sitting, rather. So that's what the teacher says. The teacher doesn't want him to be standing while reading. So Muawiyah says uridu an aqra'a wa ana waqifun, I want to read while I am standing. The Mudarris, the teacher says that kama tasha, as you wish. You must do as you wish, whether you wish to stand or you wish to sit and recite. Muawiyah replies that he says that an Jabirin, meaning he's coming to read the hadith. So an Jabirin, meaning from Jabir. This hadith is narrated from Jabir. And Jabirin, meaning from Jabir. Okay, and sometimes mean from. Okay, mean. So an Jabirin radiallahu anhu, especially in hadith, you see an meaning from. Okay, so from Jabir radiallahu anhu, call, he said, meaning he's the one, the hadith is coming from him. أتيت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو في المسجد فقال, so he says أتيت النبي, I came to the prophet. أتى يأتي, it means to come to. Oh, that is correct, to come to. So أتى, he came. Okay, يأتي, he's coming. So أتيت, I came. أتيت النبي, I came to the prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم وهو في المسجد, while he was in the masjid. I don't know whether you get me. After wawul hal, a pronoun is repeated. There is already Nabi. The pronoun is referring to the prophet. So as I told you, when in wawul hal, the name or the pronoun of the person is repeated to give you that it is wow. So wahuwa fil masjid, while he was in the masjid, faqala, and then he said, Salli raka'atayni, pray 2 rak'ahs. Okay, tahiyatul masjid. You don't just go and sit down like that. Muttafaqun alayhi. The hadith is muttafaqun alayhi. It is found in both Bukhari and Muslim. It is Bukhari and Muslim. You can find this hadith in both of this hadith. Mudarris, the teacher says that ashrahu lakum darsa al-an. I'm going to explain the lesson to you now. Fasma'u, so listen. Wala taktubu, and do not write. Shay'an, and do not write anything. Wa ana ashrahu, while I am explaining. So this is while, not end. So wala taktubu shay'an wa ana ashrahu, and do not write anything while I am explaining. So as I told you, wa, and then the pronoun is repeated. Okay, the pronoun is repeated. تأتي الواو لمعان كثيرة. Wow, this wa, just wa, okay, the letter wa. He says that it comes for several meanings. لمعان كثيرة, for several meanings. Minha, among them. So he's now going to mention them, the uses or the meanings of wa in Arabic language. The first one, he says al-atfu. That's the most common one we know. Al-atf, conjunction. So if I say I bought a pen and a book, so that's a conjunction. So that's the first meaning, and that's the most common one. We all know wa comes for conjunction. So now, example, Haraja Zubair wa Hamidun. So this wa, it means end. Zubair left and Hamid, or Zubair and Hamid left. They both left. I don't know whether you get me. So that's conjunction. It doesn't mean wow. The same thing. درسنا اليوم السيرة والفقه. We studied today sira and fiqh. So this wa, it means it's a conjunction. Sira and fiqh. We studied sira and fiqh today. It's not wow. Akeltu wa sharibtu. I ate and I drank. I ate and I drank. You can't say I ate while I drank. No. I ate and I drank. So that is atf. That's one meaning. That's what Sheikh has explained to us here. Now, second, wa minha al-qasam. That's number 2, al-qasam. Waw al-qasam. We have studied waw al-qasam. Now, example, wallahi, by Allah, you are swearing. So this waw, it comes for qasam. Okay, like Allah says in the Quran, wal asr. And not only that, a lot in the, several places in the Quran, wal asr, by time, meaning Allah is swearing by time. Okay, so this wa is called waw al-qasam. So wallahi ma ra'aytuhu. I swear by Allah, I haven't seen him. Wa waw al-qasam min huruf al-jar. And waw al-qasam is from the huruf al-jar, meaning when they come, the now following the thing you are swearing by is going to be majroor. Okay, so wallahi. If you come and say wallahu, everybody will know that you don't really understand grammar, Arabic grammar. So you have to say wallahi. Whenever this wa comes, it's going to be kasra. It's going to be majroor. So that's why we say wal asri. If you look at it, it's wal asri. Okay, you say wal asru. No. Okay, so it is from the huruf al-jar. That's what Sheikh is telling us here. Now he says that wa minha al-hal, and that's what we are studying today. And from the meanings of wa also is hal, wa al-hal. Now we know. Now he's giving an example. Ataytu an-nabiyya sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa huwa fil masjid. I came to the Prophet while he was in the masjid. I hal kawnihi fil masjid, meaning in the condition, in the state of his being in the masjid. Ra'aytul Hasan wa huwa yakhruju min al-maqsif. I saw Hassan while he was going out from the maqsif. Maqsif is the canteen. Okay, canteen where you go and buy snacks and those things. That's canteen. So I saw Hassan wa huwa. As I told you, always the pronoun will be repeated. It's either his name will be repeated or his pronoun will be repeated. This huwa is referring to Hassan. Okay, so ra'aytul Hasan wa huwa, while he yakhruju min al-maqsif, while he was coming out from the canteen. So it tells you the state in which you saw him. So I hala khurujihi min, the condition in which he left. I don't know whether you get me. Okay. The author says that wa ilaykum amsilatan ukhra liwaw al-hal. Wa ilaykum, and bimana take. This is also from the ism fa'al. Okay, asma'ul af'al is part of the ism fa'al. Ilayka. Sometimes I'll be holding something and I'll say ilayka hadha. Bimana take this. I'll just say ilayka and it will mean take. Okay, even though it's not a verb. So this is from the, as I said, it's from the ism. It's an ism fa'al. Okay, it's a noun, but it comes to mean to act like a verb to command. So wa ilaykum, and to you. That's how you translate it, but it doesn't mean and to you. It means take. Here is for you, meaning take. Examples like this, for wa ilaykum amsilatan ukhra, And for you, bimana, take other examples. The wawul hal for wawul hal. Mata abi wa ana saghirun. My father died while I was young. So that's wawul hal. It means while. Dakhalatul masjid wal imam yarka'u. I entered the masjid while the imam was going for ruku. Yarka'u. He was going for ruku. La ta'kul wa anta shab'an. Don't eat while you are satisfied. Shab'an means satisfied. So don't eat while you are satisfied. Now he says that la'allakum fahimtum. Perhaps you have understood. Of course, we have seen a lot of examples. So he's saying la'allakum fahimtum. Perhaps you have understood. Hatil ana mithalan li wawil atf ya Ayub. So he's telling Ayub to now give an example of wawil atf, conjunction, meaning a conjunction, not while. Ayub says that zahabtu ila suki washtaraitu ashya. I went to the market washtaraitu, and I bought things. So it's not while I bought things, it's a atf. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says ahsanta, meaning you have done well. Hati misalan ni waw al-qasam ya Muawiyah. He's now speaking to Muawiyah. He should give us hati means bring. Okay, come with. It simply means bring or give us. Okay, so like Allah says, how to burhanakum in kuntum sadiqin. Bring your proofs if you are really telling the truth. Okay, you should go and argue with the people of the Jews and tell them, bring your proofs if you are really telling the truth. Okay, so hati mithalan, bring example or give us example. Liwawul qasam, for wawul qasam ya Muawiyah. Oh Muawiyah. Muawiyah says that wallahi, by Allah. So that's an example of a wawul qasam. Ma gibtu qat, I have never missed. Qat means never. Ma gibtu, ghaba means to miss, to be absent. So he said, I've never missed. I've never been absent. That's what he's telling us. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says that ahsanta, you have done well. Of course, that's correct. Hati misalan wawul hal ya Faisal. He's now telling Faisal to give us an example of wawul hal. Let's see what Faisal says. Faisal says that dakhaltul masjid wal imamu yakhtub. I entered the masjid while the imam was giving the sermon. So of course that's correct. So now let's see what the teacher says. Al-Mudarris here, the teacher says that ahsanta, you have done well. Hati misalan akhar ya Yunus. He's now telling Yunus, he should give us another example. So Yunus says that talabtul ilma wa ana kabirun. I sought knowledge while I was old. I was not young again, I was old. So talabtul ilma wa ana. So as I told you, after wawul qasam, wawul hal, most of the time you see it, the domir or a name of the one doing it repeating. So while I was old, meaning I was not young when I sought knowledge, when I started learning. So that's what he's simply telling us. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says that ahsanta, you have done well. Ya Ubaydallah. Oh Ubaydallah. Ubayd, of course, we know is ism tasghir. Okay, when you try to belittle something. So Abd is a slave of Allah. If you want to say a small slave, you say Ubayd. The same way you have Tiflun, to fail. So Tiflun means a baby. If you want, if it's a baby, but it is really small, very small, you say to fail. Okay, Waladun is a boy. Wulaid, meaning a very young boy. He's a boy, but very young or very small in size. Rajulun is a man. Rujail, meaning a man who is very small. So ism tasgir, it comes to belittle something. It comes on the pattern of fu'ail. So Abdun Ubayd is more slave. So yeah, but it is mudof. And I told you whenever ya and nida, it comes with mudof ilay, the mudof will be mansub. So ya Ubaydallah. Uskur ayatan fiha wawul lil hal. He should mention an ayah in which there is wawul hal. Ubayd says that A'uz billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Innal ladhina kafaru wa matu wa hum kuffarun. Indeed, those who disbelieved and died while they were disbelievers. I don't know whether you get me. See something here. How do we know that which one is wawul hal? Innal ladhina kafaru. Wama too. There's no pronoun that comes after the wa, so it's not wa or hal. So meaning, indeed, those who died, those who disbelieve and died, wahum, you can now see a pronoun is being repeated. So that tells you that that's where the wa or hal is. Wahum kuffarun, while they were disbelievers. So they disbelieved and they died with it, meaning they died while they were disbelievers. They died with their kufr. Allah says, Ulaika alayhim la'natullahi wal malaikatu wal nasi ajma'in. Especially on them is the la'na, the curse of Allah, wal malaika, and that of the angels, wal nasi ajma'in, and people and human people all together. So this is tawqid. We have studied tawqid in a previous lesson. Kulluhum, you can remember, ja'at tullabu kulluhum, all the students came here, all of them. Okay, so to make emphasis that there's no exception, all of them came here. So ajma'in here is tawqid. Okay, one nasi ajma'in, and people, all of them, all collectively. Okay, so this is where our interest is. Wahum kuffarun, while they were disbelievers, they died with their kufr. It gives the state in which they died. They died in the state of kufr. Okay, so that's correct. A very nice ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah. So there's something there's a particular something app. Is an app, and it's also a site. You can enter it. It's called Bahis al-Quran. Bahis al-Quran. You can enter there and search a lot about the Quran. It can give you tafasir. Mashallah, it's a very nice library. Okay, it accumulates tafasirs, and it even gives you Arab of the Quran. You can mention this surah and mention the ayah number to bring it out, and then you can see the Arab for everything, each word. You can see the Arab. Let me show you. And then I'll search Bahis al-Quran. I'll just search Bahis al-Quran. Bahis al-Quran. It's a very nice app, a very nice site. You can enter it like that. It has appeared. I want to show you the interface of it, so that if you see it, you'll be able to. This is how it look like. You can see it. This is the image or the symbol of that app. If you are searching to download the app, this is how it look like. Anything online, you can use it online, and it's free of charge. So let's enter, and then you see. So this is how it appears, as you can see here. You see the interface here, and Bahis al-Quran, that's the name, Bahis al-Quran. It has an app, and here too you can even use it online. So it's better to download the app, of course, as I said. And if you observe, what we were looking was in Surah Al-Baqarah. Okay, let me show you here. You see Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 161. So I quickly, here is the list of surahs. If you open it, you select any surah you want and put the ayah number there, 161. Automatically the ayah will appear. You can see it here. Inna alladhina kafaru wa matu wa hum kuffarun ulaika alayhim lahnatullah. That's what we were talking about. And so if you search here, you can see here tafsir. Tafsir is here, and then here we have ulum. So tafsir, if you want to look at the tafsir of any surah, any ayah in the Quran, you can simply come here and put the surah there and put the ayah number, and so the ayah will come, and then there will be tafasir here. Okay, Jami'ul Bayan, Fathul Bayan, Al-Muyassar, okay, Mukhtasar, Fathul Qadir, Tafsir al-Quran al-Azim, and a whole lot of tafasir. Okay, Tafsir Karim al-Rahman, that's Tafsir al-Sa'di, the famous Tafsir al-Sa'di. Okay, I have the book, very big book, but you can see all those tafasir, they have been joined and then they are present here. So it's a very nice thing to have. Okay, Ruhul Ma'ani for Imam Aluzi, his tafsir. Okay, for Mafatihul Ghaib or Imam Razi tafsir is there. Okay, even Usaymin, you can see Sheikh Usaymin tafsir is here. Tafsir Quran Karim for Usaymin. A whole lot of even Tabari and all these big scholars, their tafsir are gathered here. And then it's just like a library. Okay, it's very nice. If you are a student of the Quran, okay, or Arabic language, you need to have this. Okay, I recommend it for you to have it. And you can come to ulum. of course, ulum, that's Arabic. You can see Arab. There are several Arab. There are several people who did Arab of the Quran, and then it is gathered here. Okay, Arab Maw-izah, Arab Quran, and then a whole lot. So you see them. These are Arab that is done by several different people, and then here, let me select. This is just selection of one. So let me see. You see how it comes. So inna, it will tell you what it is. Alladhina ismul mawsula mudhakkar jam kafaru fi'l madi sulasi al mujarrad kafar, and then all that you see. So where we were, let me tell you this wa, which let me show. Let me come back and you see. If you can remember, we said wahum kufarun. This is where the wawul hal comes. And so let's go and check it and see. You can see here wahum kufarun. You can see that part. So see here, this wa, you can see he have said harful hal. So this is what we are searching for, harful hal. So that's the nature of this site. If you come, you can get every ayah in the Quran. You can get a breakdown of it, every part, every word, what is Arab in the Quran. If you want to find out, you can come and search it here. And here, see something. In the Latina kafaru wa matu wa hum kufar. This another part. Let me show you this one. Okay, Arab Masul. So here they use diagram to show, to do their Arab. You see it in the Latina kafaru wa matu wa hum kufar, and then they explain. So if you get to this point, wa hum kufarun, this is where the wawul hal is. So you can see they have written harful hal. Behind the wa, under it you can see harful hal. It is telling it, meaning it is a wawul hal. It is coming to give the condition, and they have said here that jumla fi'liya, meaning this part, this whole part is jumla fi'liya, and then this wa, it gives the condition in which that jumla fi'liya is occurring. I don't know whether you get me. So very nice, very nice. And then there are a whole lot. You can open any. Okay, Mahani the Quran, and then this is what it will appear. Okay, you can search for your choice and then you open. There are different Arab that is done by different people. So it's a very nice app. And then not only that, not only tafsir and then ulum, Arab of the Quran, but we have masahif, meaning different masahif of the Quran. Okay, copies of Quran, and then we have ma'ajim, dictionaries. Okay, there are a whole lot. This site is really nice. So if you are a student of the Quran or Arabic language, it's nice to have this. Okay, you can, as I said, there's an app for it. You can download the app, or you can use it online anytime you want to do Arab, search for any part of the Quran. If you want to understand some Arab in any word in the Quran, you can search it here. So let's go back and then continue. Okay, so that is it. And Mudarris, the teacher says that Aina wawul hal fi hazihi al-ayah. So he's now asking him, the one who mentioned the ayah. That's correct, but he's asking him, where is wawul hal in the ayah? You can see several waw in it. So give us, further clarify for us. Ubaidullah says that fi qawlihi ta'ala, in his statement, in Allah's statement, wahum kuffarun. So this part, wahum kuffarun, that's where the wawul hal is. Okay. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says that, what is it? Ahsanta, you have done well. Bakiya thalasu daqa'iq, is now with 3 minutes. Bakiya thalasu daqa'iq. So you can see thalasu daqa'iq, of course, that's jamu li ghayri akil. So someone will ask, why is it not bakiyat? And it is bakiya. Okay, this is something we have to know. We have said that before. When it is jamu li ghayri akil, it's not a must that, you know, jamu li ghayri akil, they come as if they were feminine. We have said this before. They come as if they are feminine. Okay, so anything associating with them is going to be like feminine. Okay, it's going to be mu'annas. So here it should have been bakiyat. Somehow argue that's how it should be, because jamu li ghayri akil, things that are non-human plural tense. Okay, non-human plural tense, they act as if they were feminine. So, but it's not compulsory that they should always act like that. If you make them masculine or feminine, you are good to go. It's correct. So here, bakia is correct. The same way you could say bakiyat, and that's still going to be correct. So bakia thalasu daqa is 3 minutes. فهل من سؤال. So is there any question? This min, we call it min azaida. We'll still study it. Min azaida. It counts for emphasis to mean, is there any question whatsoever? Okay, is any question whatsoever? So if you are someone who boasts, okay, and let's say you are boasting that you are very strong, and so you want to say, is there anyone who can fight me? So you can say, hal min ahad. Is there anyone whatsoever? Meaning, no matter how the person is, there anyone, we don't care how he look like. I don't know whether it gets me. So this means it comes for emphasis. It comes, mostly it's a question, of course, it comes with istifham. Okay, so like Allah says, فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ, and even فَهَلْ مِن مَزِيد, like Jahannam saying, okay, فَهَلْ مِن مَزِيد, is there anyone whatsoever? Okay, it comes to go a little bit step further to make the question very strong. So Muawiyah, we study it, inshallah, we'll study it later. Muawiyah says that, Naam ladayya su'ala, yes, I have a question. Ma ma'na hurum? What is the meaning of al-hurum? في قوله تعالى, in the statement of Allah in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تقتلوا الصيد وأنتم حرم. All you who have come to believe, don't kill the soid. The soid is the animal that you are hunting for. Okay, if you set out going to hunt animal, that animal you are trying to hunt and catch is called a soid. وأنتم حرم, while you are in a state of ihram. So, what's the meaning of hurum in this ayah? That's what this Muawiyah is asking the teacher. Al-Mudarris, the teacher says that ma'naha, its meaning is al-muhrimun. Al-muhrimun. Mana, while you are in a state of ihram. Okay. Mufraduha haram. Its singular is haram. So, hurum is the plural of haramun. And he says it means muhrimun. I don't know what I get me. Muhrim. So muhrim is singular for muhrimun, and haram is singular for hurum. So hurum means muhrimun. Okay. Muawiyah says that Jazak Allahu Khair, may Allah reward you, compensate you in good terms. Yarinnu al-jaras, the bell rang. Wa yakhruju al-mudarrisu wa huwa yaqul. And the teacher left while he was saying. So wahuwa yakun, while he was saying, you see after wow a domir coming. So it means while. So while he was saying. So the teacher left in what manner? He left saying something. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So that's the manner in which the teacher left the class. He left saying salam to the students. Now we are done with the dialogue at Tamarin exercises, of course. So here we are coming to see exercises that are pertaining to the dialogue that we have just read. So let's just begin it and then we go like that. أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. We should answer the following questions. أين رأى فيصل حامدا? Where did Faisal see Hamid? If you can remember, he saw him entering the hammam, washroom, the washroom. So you can see رآه وهو يدخل الحمام. He saw him while he was entering the hammam. So, Aina Zahaba Hamza. Where did Hamza went to? Okay, he's the one who went to the hostel. Okay, he's the one who went to the hostel. So you can say Zahaba ila al-mahja. Mata kharajat tullabu min Makkah. Where did the student? When did the students left Makkah? Wa mata wasalu al-Madinah al-Munawwara. And when did they arrive in Madinah al-Munawwara? So you can say kharaju min Makkah was Shamsu Tatlu. If you can remember, they said the sun was rising, the sun was setting while the not setting, sorry, the sun was rising. Tola'a, for something to rise, to appear. Okay, the sun was rising while they left. So you can say Kharaju min al Makkah or Kharajat Tulabu min Makkah was Shamsu Tatlu. Wa wasalu al Madinah al Munawwara. والناس يخرجون من مسجد النبوي بعد صلاة الظهر. If you can remember, that was what we read. So man الذي قرأ hadith, who was the one who read the hadith? Of course, it was Muawiyah. Muawiyah read it, and then the teacher was now asking him questions. So ما معنى الحرم في آية الواردة في الدرس? What is the meaning of hurum in the ayah that appeared in the lesson? Okay. Warida it comes from warada. What warada means for something to arrive. One of the meanings to warada al-ma, he arrived at the water. Okay, but other meaning is to be mentioned. Okay, so most of the time we hear it warada fil hadith. It has certainly appeared in the hadith. So warada means for something, another means to be mentioned or to appear somewhere. Okay, so you hear someone is giving a reference and you say that warada fil kaza or kaza, it appeared or it was mentioned in so and so place. So fil ayatil warida, in the ayah that appeared, fil dars, in the lesson. So what's the meaning of hurum there? Wama mufraduha, and what is mufrad, is singular. So hurum, if you can remember, they say the singular was the meaning. He said that mabana, so he needs the meaning and then the singular of it. And if you can remember, it means muhrimun, as he said, and then the singular is muhrim, but not the singular of it. The singular of hurum is haram. So the singular is haram. There are two questions. Ma mana hurum? Hurum means muhrimun. Wama mufraduha, meaning mufrad of hurum, and that means haram. So the first part of the answer is muhrimun. The second part, the mufrad, is haram. Okay. Then the next part of the exercise is ta'ammul al-amsilat al-atiyah. We should take note of the following amsilat al-atiyah, examples that follows wawul hal for wawul hal, meaning he's given us further examples on wawul hal. He says that hajjtu wa ana saghirun, I did hajj, I went for hajj while I was small, meaning my parents sent me while I was a young boy. So hajjtu wa ana saghirun, I went to hajj while I was young. So you can see it, domir. Most of the time that's how you easily identify it. دخلت المسجد دخلت المسجد والناس يخرجون منه, I entered the masjid while people, so a noun or a pronoun, as I told you, will always come after that in most of the cases. So دخلت المسجد والناس يخرجون منه, I entered the masjid while the people were coming out, meaning I arrived late. I just arrived while they finished and they were leaving. So they were leaving while I was entering. So that's what she's telling us. مات الرجل وهو نائم, subhanallah. The man died while he was sleeping. So he was sleeping and then he just continued like that. Okay, he just died. So mata rajul wa huwa na'imun, the man died while he was sleeping. Asha jaddi akthara min mi'ati amin wa mata wa ana sagirun. Asha jaddi, my grandfather lived akthara min mi'ati amin, more than 100 years. Wa mata, and he died wa ana sagirun, while I was young. So wa ana, if you see all the wa here, they don't have ana, they don't have a pronoun in front of them. See here, wa mata is a verb, and it's even if past tense verb. But here, wa ana is a pronoun repeated. So it tells you that that's where the wawul hal is. Wa ana sagir, while I was small. Okay. Now he says that talabtul ilma wa ana mutazawwijun, I sought knowledge while I was married. Meaning he married before he started seeking for knowledge. La taqra is-sahifa, don't read the sahifa, that's the newspaper. Wa anta tamshi fi shari', while you are walking on the path. Okay, you are reading newspaper while you are on the road. Okay, that's why he said, don't do that. Qala ta'ala, Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la taqrabu as-salata wa antum sukara. O you those who have come to believe, don't approach the salat. La taqrabu salata. Don't approach the salat. Wa antum sukara. So you see, wa antum, a pronoun has been repeated. After wawul hal, most of the time, as I tell you, just put that tip in your finger tips. It's either a noun or a pronoun will be repeated. So ya ayyuhallazina amanu, this pronoun is returning back to what? Allazina amanu. The pronoun is for who? It's referring to who? Allazina amanu. So they have already been mentioned. If I ask you, who is this antum? You tell me it is allazina amanu, those who have come to believe. So their pronoun has been repeated immediately after the wawul hal. That's one way to identify wawul hal. After it, a noun or a pronoun is going to be mentioned. And it will be referring to something that is already talked in the first sentence. So ya ayyuhallazina amanu la taqrabu salata. That's the first part. So allazina amanu is here. Wa antum, while, not end, while you are intoxicated. Wa antum sukara. Okay. Let's continue. Maw-izah. That's the second part of the example here. There's exercise, sorry. Let me see. Yes. The Sheikh is telling us that Maw-izah wawul atf min waw al-hal. So we are now going to differentiate between waw al-atf conjunction, waw that comes to mean conjunction, and waw that comes to give the state in which something is done. في جمل الآتية, in the following sentences, and he says that صفحة واحدا تحت واو العطف. If you see a واو العطف, put one line under it. وحطين تحت واو الحال. If you see واو العطف, put one line under it. وحطين, and two lines. تحت واو الحال. If you see واو الحال, put two lines under it. The first one he mentioned is خرج المدرس من الفصل. The teacher left the classroom. وذهب إلى مكتب المدير, and then he went to the mudir, the headmaster's office. So is this واو الحال or واو العطف? وذهب, there's no noun or pronoun which is being mentioned. So of course it's a واو العطف. خرج المدرس من الفصل. The teacher left the classroom and went, and then he went. Okay, not while he went. No, even in English it doesn't make sense. While he left the classroom, while he went to the office, it doesn't make meaning. Okay. دخلت على المدير, I ended upon the principal. وهو يكتب, while, you can see pronoun repeated, while he was writing. I entered and he was writing. So it gives the state in which he was when you entered. Okay. دخل حامد ومعاوية والحسن. Hamid, Muawiyah, and Hassan entered al-fasla. They entered the classroom. وَالْمُدَرِّسُ يَشْرَحُ الدَّرْسِ. While the teacher, وَالْمُدَرِّسُ. So you can see it's a noun. As I said, either now or pronoun. وَالْمُدَرِّسُ. While the teacher, يَشْرَحُ الدَّرْسَ, he was explaining the lesson. Okay, so dakhala. Sometimes dakhala comes and you need fee. Okay, dakhala fee. Sometimes you can just mention it. Okay, so nazala, sometimes it comes and you don't need fee to add to it. So nazala, and sometimes dakhala. Okay, dakhala, even sakana. Sometimes you just say sakan to baita kaza wa kaza, or nazala to baita kaza wa kaza. I descended on the house of so and so. I settled there. Okay, sakana, dakhala. Okay, nazala, and even sometimes ata. Okay, ataituhu. Okay. So number 4, he says, so these 3 people, dakhala al-fasla, they entered the classroom. والمدرس يشرح الدرس, while the teacher was explaining the lesson. أعرف لغتين, الإنجليزية والفرنسية. I know two languages, English and French. So this is واو الحال, واو العطف, not واو الحال. Okay. Number 5, جاءني الولد وهو يبكي. The child came to me while he was crying. وهو, you can see huwa, the pronoun repeated. So وهو يبكي, while he was crying. ورجع وهو يضحك, and he returned while he was laughing. Inshallah. Then he says that دخل إسماعيل المسجد. Ismail entered the masjid والإمام يقرأ الفاتحة, while the imam was reciting Surah Al-Fatiha. Okay, so this is wow hal. Wal imam is now coming up. Now a pronoun. Remember that simplicity. Wal imamu yaqra'u, and the imam was reciting Surah Al-Fatiha. Ayyin, now this is the third part of the exercise. Ayyin naw'a kulli wawin mimma warada fi jumlatin atiyah. Ayyin, we should distinguish. Ayyana yu'ayyin, it means to distinguish. Okay, so we should distinguish naw'a kulli wawin, the type of each waw, mimma warada, in that which appear or which is mentioned fi jumlatin atiyah, in the following sentences. Wallahi, this waw is waw al-qasam, of course. Waw al-qasam, it counts for qasam, for swearing. So wallahi ma gibtu yawman wa ana sahihun. Wallahi, I have not missed a day wa ana sahihun, while I am healthy. Sahihun means healthy. Okay, sahihun, it means a lot, correct. Okay, sahihun, that's correct. But sometimes when it's used for human beings, it means health. Okay, it's referring to your health. Sihatun means your health. So when it says ana sahihun, meaning I'm fine, like my health is correct, I'm healthier. That's what you mean. La hazihi sana wala sanata al-madiyah. Not this year, nor the previous year. Okay, so this also will atf. wawul hal wa ana sahihun. Wawul qasam. This one is wawul qasam. Wallahi. Wa ana sahihun. This is wawul hal, of course. Wala, and this is wawul atf. Hope that is clear. Okay. Now we have here number 4. Akmil kulla jumlatin mimma ya'ti bi jumlatin haliyatin munasibatin. We should complete the following sentence. All the sentences. Kulla jumlatin, all the sentences. Mimma ya'ti, in that which follows. Bi jumlatin, with a sentence. Haliyatin, jumlatin haliyatin. It should be a conditional sentence, like with wawul hal. Okay, munasiba, suitable. So we have to complete it without by simply using wawul hal. That's what he's telling us. So the halatul masjida, you have to use wa something and complete it. So we should complete it on our own. So you can just say anything you like, but you should make meaning. So the halatul masjida, you can say well imam yarka'u, while the imam was going to ruku. Then wasalat at-ta'ira, the aeroplane arrived. Matar Jeddah, the airport of Jeddah. Then you can see washamsu tagrubu, while the sun was setting. Garaba means to disappear, also, or to set when the sun is setting, it is disappearing. So you can say washamsu tagrubu, while the sun was disappearing. So the plane arrived at the Jeddah airport while the sun was setting. Washamsu tagrubu. Then here, Hajjajitu, I did Hajj. So you can say, wa ana sagirun, while I was small, meaning I was young. And so they sent me, and so I did Hajj. Ra'aytul mudarrisu, I saw the teacher. Then you can say something. Wa huwa yahmilu kutubahu, while he was holding he was carrying his books. You can see that I saw him in that state, in a state where he was carrying. Or you can say, wa huwa yadkhulu al-fasla, while he was entering the fasl, the classroom. Now, Mata Ammi, my uncle, my paternal uncle, he died. Mata Ammi, my paternal uncle, he died. You can say, wa ana sagirun, while I was young. Kharajitu min al-Madinah, I left Medina. And then you can see something. You can see, wa shamsu tatlu'u, while the sun was rising. Wa wasaltu Riyadh, and I arrived at Riyadh. Washamsu tagrubu, while the sun was setting. So I left Medina while the sun was rising, or while the sun was appearing. Washamsu tatlu, wasaltu Riyadh, and I arrived at Riyadh. Washamsu tagrubu, while the sun was disappearing, it was setting. Ij'al, now the 5th one. Ij'al kulla jumlatin mimma ya'ti jumlatan haliyatan li jumlatin min insha'ika. Ij'al kulla jumlatin, you should make all the sentences mimma ya'ti, that which follows, jumlatan haliyatan, a conditional sentence. Okay, bimana you have wawul hal. Li jumlatin min insha'ik, from your own composition. You should compose it on your own. Okay. Nasha'a means for something to be formed. Okay, nasha'a, for something to form. So if it rain and I say nasha'a wahlun, meaning mud has formed. Wahlun means mud. So I say nasha'a wahlun, mud has been formed. Okay, ba'da al-matar, after the rain. So nasha'a, for something to form on its own. Nasha'a. So insha'ik, meaning your own formation. You are the one who should form it. That's what they are telling us. Now let's see here. He says that anta tamshi fi shari, you are walking on the street. So you should give something to complete it by you in certain way with hal. So you can, and I can say la tal'ab wa anta tamshi fi shari. Don't play while you are walking on the street. Now here wa ana tiflun. So you can see mata jaddi wa ana tiflun. Okay, my grandfather died while I was a baby. Al-mudarrisu yaktubu darsa. So you can see the halatul fasla. I entered the classroom. Wal-mudarrisu yaktubu darsa. While the teacher was writing the lesson. Al-sabura, on the board. Mataru yanzilu. So you can see the halatul baita. I entered the house. Wal-mataru yanzilu. While the rain was coming down. It was raining. Al-shamsu tagrubu. So here you can see wasaltu ila al-bayt, or wasaltu ila al-madrasa washamsu tagrubu. I arrived at madrasa while the sun was setting. Al-mu'azzinu yukimu. So you can say dakhalitul masjida wal mu'azzinu yukimu. That's it. Very simple. There's nothing that is difficult about wawul hal. Ana sagirun. So you can say hajajtu wa ana sagirun, or you can say hafiztu al-Qur'ana wa ana sagirun. I memorized Quran while I was young. Okay. إن شاء الله نقف في هذا المكان حتى لا نجعل الدرس طويلا جدا. إن شاء الله في الدرس القادم إن شاء الله سنواصل من هذا المكان، وبذلك إن شاء الله نتوقف هنا. جزاكم الله خيرا، وبارك الله لي ولكم في قرآن الحكيم، ونفعني وإياكم من آياته والذكر الحكيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.